and we are back. I'm actually back here in the back with Lucas Schuneman, correct?
Yeah, you got it right, man.
Let's go.
You nailed it.
So, you are a voice actor. Who do you voice act in One Piece?
Voice Vice Admiral Onigumo. I'm the Spider-Man of One Piece, as I understand it to be.
Very, very exciting.
Yeah.
You happy to be here today?
Oh, love it. Love it.
Cool.
Hometown area, kind of hometown feel. I didn't grow up in this area, but I've been here about 10 years now, so it's my adopted hometown now. So I love it.
Where'd you grow up?
Other side of the state of Illinois, near the Iowa border. On that one there, so northwest Illinois.
I got family over in Iowa, so that's pretty cool.
Very cool, very cool.
Do you play One Piece at all? I'm gonna...
The card game you're asking. You know what's funny? The first time I played it was here. Was actually
Really?
at Everything Games. I did it when we did I think it was the third volume of the set for the cards. They were doing a promo for that. I came by, we talked. I had some very great players here who introduced me to the game and showed me how to play. I didn't even know how to play. I also pulled I think I pulled a super rare alternate art Poly card out of there, and they were like, "Keep that! Put it in top loader. It's really good." So I learned how to play. I think I won 2 out of my 5 matches that day. So 2 players were very nice to me and let me win, and that was really cool. I like that. But yeah, it was cool. I got to learn how to play, and it was real nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I just ask you some questions about
Feel free. Yes.
So, how did you get into voice acting?
Oh boy, the $1 million question, right?
You knew it was coming.
And it's a question everybody asks, but there's no one answer for it there. You wish there was just one piece of knowledge that they could have not. You saw what I was doing there. That was nice. That's what we call a setup. I spent, I was a theater kid, did a lot of theater in high school. Then I spent 10 years in radio, back when radio was a thing. Yeah, now thanks to the internet and podcasts, that's not a thing now. It's not like we're going to be on a podcast anytime soon. Wait a minute. And then with all that knowledge and all that information, I kind of was like, waited around. And then about the time YouTube came around, which was about 2006, about 2006, 2007, I was like, you know what? There's opportunities for people if they wanted to go voice things. That's a job, isn't it? Yeah, I should look into that. And I looked into it about 2007, started looking into it, started listening around to people who were doing the same kind of work that I wanted to do, which was mainly cartoons. I didn't really want to do like video games or anything else like that, but I wasn't opposed to it. I've been a video gamer my whole life. And then I kind of started learning about anime and voice acting. It's not around the Chicagoland area. I knew that wasn't a thing, but I was like, they'll be able to tell me, other people who are doing that kind of work would tell me where to go and who to talk to and what I could do. And I knew I had the skills that I had set up to do it. I was just like, so what's the next step I could do? And I got some good people to talk to. Johnny Young Bosch, one of the original second generation Power Rangers, the Black Ranger Adam. And then he ended up being the English voice of Vash the Stampede from Trigun, Ichigo Kurosaki from Bleach, Lelouch from Code Geass.
Oh, I love Lelouch.
There you go. I knew I'd hit one for you, Keith.
I knew all 3 of those guys. Lelouch is just my favorite of those.
Bleach? What's Bleach? I've never heard of that. That has no popularity whatsoever. And being able to, and I talked to him. I talked to Kyle Bear. Kyle Bear is Gohan, adult Gohan from Dragon Ball Z. He's also the narrator of Dragon Ball Z. He's Ryu in Street Fighter. He's Aizen in Bleach. He's a lot of things out there. And I think he's Don Capo in One Piece, actually.
Really?
So, yeah, so he and I are actually in One Piece together. So it's really cool. Everybody's in One Piece. So eventually everybody gets into all voice actors gravitate. All voice actors gravitate to One Piece. So we'll get you into voiceover there, Keith. And then we'll gravitate you to One Piece at one point. But yeah, I started getting my first jobs in like 2010. So I've been doing this for 14 years. And 2013 came around, and I had at least something on my roster. I had enough on my plate where there was enough for me to be able to go to Funimation and go, I would like to know about when you guys are doing an open audition call for anything that you guys got going. And turned out that, that they had enough on there. Like, you got to fly down here because you're not going to be able to send anything remotely. This is before remote was a thing. And he's like, we need you down here. Mm-hmm. So I was like, all right. But they said, you have a roster of stuff, that you have a resume basically that has enough stuff on here to say that you know what you're doing, but you're gonna have to come down here. And I said, okay. And they let me know about it. I drove to Texas.
Never do that again. Never do that again.
But did that, and then I I had 11 minutes in front of Mike McFarland, voice of Buggy the Clown, also the voice of Master Roshi from Dragon Ball Z, and Jean from Attack on Titan. Wonderful director. And he heard me for 11 minutes, said that was great, and then I drove back to Illinois. And then about a month later, they said, yeah, we want you for One Piece. And I was like, that's great. And so my very first foray into anime at all was Onigumo and One Piece, and that opened the door for everything else that I've been doing in anime ever since. I've got about 20 titles under my belt, and I'm really happy about that, but it all started with Onigumo. It all started with One Piece.
Can you hit me with some of the other big guys that you voiced over the years?
Well, a lot of my stuff is really not so much anime because I'm just not down there that often to really get it. But let's see here. Anime. Geez, let's see here. Psycho-Pass, the movie. Legend of Galactic Heroes. Lately, that's been a good one. Gangsta, the anime. We've got also a lot of bit parts and a lot of other things that I've done. A lot of video game work though. Warframe has been a big boon for me. Yes,
okay.
Been doing Warframe for about 9 years now. A couple of voice characters. That I don't know if anybody's familiar with Warhammer around here. Don't know if any
Warhammer everything games. No,
I don't know if there's some Warhammer fans out here, but Warhammer Rogue Trader and Warhammer Inquisitor Martyr. I am the Inquisitor in Inquisitor Martyr, and Clash Royale, Payday 2, Raid Shadow Legends has hired me now to do some commercials for them, and not like the commercials you see for Raid Shadow Legends, but actual characters from Raid Shadow Legends. GTFO, Wasteland 3, Desperados 3. Video games are kind of my bread and butter, but I'm lucky to dip my toe into anime when I can.
It's cool though too,
It is.
because I recognize a lot of those games, and I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna play them, or I'm gonna watch my buddies play them, and I'm gonna be like, "Hey, I know that guy."
I know that guy.
This is a question I always like to ask when I meet
Please.
anyone that I would consider like in the know it all. Do you ever meet people that you're like, "I'm such a fan, I don't know how to casually have like a work conversation with you"?
I do, but the cool thing is voiceover artists are a very, very tight-knit group. So we're just people, and because I spent so much time with actors as I went through my my development, is that actors are just people, and once you just meet people, we're just people. And sometimes when you meet a voice actor, you don't know who they are because you don't know their face.
Yeah.
You know their voice, but you don't know their face. You don't know what they're all about. And so you just get to be able to meet people, and then later you go, "Oh my God, that was who you were! Oh, you were my childhood," and then that happens. But every now and then they do have that. But thankfully I've been around them long enough to know that we're just people. And the cool thing is that I've grown up with people who have gotten their success about the same time that I've had my success. So I knew them before they got big, and I got to watch their careers grow. So I knew them before they were a big deal. So I have a lot of friends like that.
That is incredibly exciting.
Very lucky.
We had a similar interaction because this isn't the first time I've met you. I've met you before, and I remember because I met you. You left.
It was here.
Yeah.
The last time we were doing this. Yeah.
And I was talking to Cody afterwards, and he was like, "Do you know who you were just talking to?" And I was like, "A guy? I don't know." And he's like, "He voice acted in One Piece." Now, when I saw your character, one of my favorite Vice Admirals, cool freak.
Yes.
They need to give my man more screen time. I think the only last super what's it like to be a voice actor question heavy question I have is, do you have it's a two-parted question. Do you have a warm-up routine for how you get ready in the morning for any day that you work? And then the second part of that question is, do your voices have a shelf life of how long you could do that voice? Do your muscles get tired? Do you have I can be this character for X amount of time before I've got to be done for the day?
Both good questions. Is there a warm-up routine? Absolutely. If you don't warm up, your voice is for male and male identifying actors, you're going to get a lot of that. You're going to get a lot of that cragginess, and you don't want that. So any singer or actor has a warm-up routine, which is just usually you just kind of warm up. You got to drink your fluids. You got to hydrate. You got to make sure you're doing that. Sometimes, though, if I know that I'm going to be going into doing a very gravelly kind of voice, I don't warm up because I know that that's going to give me that gravel that I want. So,
for Onigumo, I'm just going to be able to get in there, and I know exactly where I'm going to be going. But he has a lot of gravel in his voice. He has a lot of texture. So when he talks like that, You make sure that he's not going to make sure that he's warmed up. He doesn't la 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 la. You don't.
There's none of that going on. Is there a shelf life for the voices? Absolutely, which is one of the reasons why you don't audition, and you don't audition with a voice that you can't sustain. And sustaining is something you've got to make sure you can sustain for at least an hour, namely 2 hours is what you really want to have on there. I have done voices where, and a lot of heavy exertion. I got to do one of the characters for the Tenosian Army in Chivalry 2, which was 5-hour session. That was a 5-hour session where I was screaming. But the good thing was the sound designers and the engineers made sure to go, like, we've done this too. Like, we've individually been voices in this game. We know how long you're going to take a break. You're going to take a break every now and then, and you're going to do some stuff. So they'll go like, take 5. Come back. It's okay. Take 5. And every half hour they came to like, you good? Take half hour. So making sure that you're checking in with your actors to make sure you can do that is important. But just making sure you're putting out a voice out there in an audition that you can't sustain is really important. When I got to do Warhammer Rogue Trader, that was something that was extremely hard on my throat. It was a Khorne Bloodletter for the Warhammer fans out there. So, enough of this kind of thing going on. And I'm like, even now, just going like, okay, and breathe. Okay. So doing that for like a half hour was really hard on the voice. But they knew that, and so we made sure that wasn't going to muscle in on that. So it's huge.
That is awesome. I don't know if I have any more questions off rip. I guess, do you have any roles that are coming up that you're looking forward to that you can share with us if you can?
Nope.
Dang.
Nope.
I said I don't know.
The answer to that is always no.
That's fair. Maybe like, do you have any? Maybe this is a good one. Do you have any like dream roles, like things that exist, either not as a format that needs voice actors yet, like a story or a book,
exactly.
or a character that's already existed that you were like, oh, I wish I could voice that guy?
The hard part about the second part of that question is that if you try to name a character that you'd want to voice, then that character shouldn't have already been voiced, because then you're saying, I want to do somebody else's job and I want to do it better, which is horribly... So
it's like a respect thing.
Yeah, it's a respect thing. You just kind of go like, look, I'm not trying to tell somebody how to do their job. There can also just be like, I have a grand love of this series or this product, this IP, and I was like, I want to be a part of that. For me, Final Fantasy. I would love to be a part of Final Fantasy. That was my childhood growing up, and now I know actors who are in Final Fantasy, and I want to be able to be like, I just want an opportunity to try. Let me try. One Piece was huge for me too. It was like, I wanted to just try for One Piece. When they were auditioning for One Piece, they hadn't done Thriller Bark yet. I'm like, can I get a chance to be Brooke? Can I yo-ho-ho just a little bit? Please? I want to try.
That would have been crazy.
But it wasn't that. It was the Buster Call in Ennis Lobby that they were casting for, and one of the and they needed older guys for the Vice Admirals and a lot of the Marines and stuff. That's what they were asking for, and I got it. And I was like, that's great. Thankfully, there were 5 of them, so I'm just like, hey, I got one. And he's in some movies, and I'm like, that's cool. But I thought about it a lot, because that question does come up a lot. And you know what? There is an answer that I have for an existing character that I would love to voice that's never been voiced that I would love to voice. Robo from Chrono Trigger.
Ooh.
I would love to have an opportunity for that. He's never talked, and I think I would kill it, and I would love to. Who wouldn't be a part of the voiced Chrono Trigger cast?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? That's what I think that would be a good dream role. So Final Fantasy or Chrono Trigger, so you can tell I'm an RPG Squaresoft, not Square Enix, Squaresoft fan. That's how far I go back, and that's where I go.
That gives you like the authentic stamp for anyone who's listening in that is like a tried and true gamer will know that difference matters.
And also know that I'm old.
Yeah, that's fair. Hey,
yeah,
listen.
Yeah, that too.
Didn't even pull a punch, dang.
It's when other people call themselves old.
He's channeling his inner Marine. He's not holding anything back. He's just doing his thing. That's great.
Well, well, guys, I think we're rolling into the start of the event here.
Yeah.
Lucas, it was great. Thank you for taking the time.
Thank you for having me. I love being here. This is a great thing. You guys do great stuff over here. And I'm going to be over here for the next amount of time here and signing autographs if anybody wants to come over here and grab hand-signed Onigumo cards. They come with their own one-piece sleeves as well. So I'm throwing in the sleeves as part of that whole deal. I also got some other prints out here from some of the other stuff that I have. So if anybody's any fans of anything like that, want to come on by, ask some questions that Keaton didn't get to, feel free to come on by and bug me with that. I love it. I love talking to people, love talking to fans.
I appreciated the time.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.